Hi, in this video we're going to talk about the conclusion to paper number 1, and what we want to focus on is looking to the future rather than simply summarizing, which doesn't mean we're not going to summarize in some way, but it just means that's going to be a tiny percentage of the work we do. Let's start off by looking at the rubric criteria, which makes clear that some summary is appropriate and expected, but really that should not be more than a sentence or two at the beginning, and the bulk of your conclusion, 80% or so, should look to your future by connecting the reasons you've discussed in your essay to what kind of work you think you want to explore and or prepare for down the line. The rubric also offers 2 recommendations that I often check off when I score a paper. So these are 2 areas that there are often problems in, and they really match the criteria. Sometimes I end up telling students after I read their conclusion, you need to add a sentence or two summing up your reasons for work. In other words, you haven't given me any kind of summary and it's good to have a sentence or two. But more often than not, I'm saying more fully explain how your reasons for working that you've talked about connect to your future. So that movement forward, that looking to the future is what marks a good conclusion. So let's get right into looking at a couple examples. This one is hard to read, and I hope that you have expanded this PowerPoint / video lecture to full screen so you can see it. I had to take a snapshot of the paper because I didn't have it in an original Word document, and I couldn't just copy and paste in the text. So this is the conclusion from the Smarty Pants essay. So you could take that Smarty Pants essay out of your binder, or if you have it on a PDF file on your computer, you could open it up. And if you read that conclusion, you're going to see really clearly what I mean by 80% about the future. The first couple sentences, to some degree, sum things up. But really quickly, we get to that key move. With these views in mind, I need to start looking for jobs. And then it goes on and sort of imagines what are the future possibilities that would respond to the reasons that this writer has learned he should work during the process of writing this paper. So from with these views in mind on down is all looking to the future. And the language before that is sort of indirectly summarizing what was said in the essay. But the largest part of the piece, the material from here all the way down to here, is, excuse me on that one. Let me get back to the slide there. So I'll go previous. Got to do that one more time. Sorry about that. Okay. So anyway, you've got this whole stretch from here to here. The bulk of the paragraph all about looking to the future. Let's take a look at another one. By the way, if you need more time to read this, pause the video and take some time to read it, or look at your sample essay. Okay, here's another sample. This one is actually from Joshua's paper, and I think this is a solid example. I really like that phrase, through my 3 years and various job titles, I now have a checklist of deal breakers when it comes to my future employment. I really like the way that's set up. He's clearly saying, this is what I've learned, and now I have to think about how that applies in the future. And the basis of the conclusion is, where do I go from here with this? He says at one point, I realize now that the service of others has to be the center of what I do. I have to be the change that I want to see in the world. I can't remain stagnant. Nothing with value comes for free. Hard work's necessary. And again, as soon as you start to feel like, oh, maybe he's summarizing his reasons, he jumps in and says, my future will have no choice but to be bright if I attempt to learn the lessons from whatever work that I'm doing, not taking anything for face value. And then he says, 21 years old, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is what I'm looking for. That last sentence, in the end, I will have a longer checklist and a clearer picture on what I ultimately want out of work in my life. I'm not sure that I feel this one is as strong as the previous one we've read, but I really like it. And for me, this would be a high B, A, or low A conclusion. I think it's really solid. So you now have a verbal explanation of the rubric criteria for conclusions, the kind of suggestions I often find myself making on papers while I'm grading them, and 2 samples, both of which are quite strong. Spend some time with this material and then go draft your own and add it to your paper. I look forward to seeing what you come up with.